Kellen Moore recaps the loss to Arizona Saints Cardinal post game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Kellen Moore is at the stand, the press conference. We all knew it was coming. I'm interested to hear what he says about the timeouts. I think that's the big question, why he didn't call timeouts in the first half. I think it got away from him. I think he was expecting a different situation to hold the timeouts. I think he expected more time on the clock, and then at a certain critical mass, when he realized like Arizona was kind of killing more clock than he expected, he just froze. And I'm not saying that would have swung the game or whatever, but in the long run, those decision points do add up. And in today's NFL, you have to be able to make those decisions. And that was a whoopsie poopsie. And I have full confidence he will say it was a whoopsie poopsie in this when he's asked about it, which I'm sure will be like the first question.
The effort, the play style, I think is something we talked about a lot going into this game. I felt like our guys played with really good effort, really good play style. I thought the energy was really, really good in the dome. Made a couple stops towards the end, big field goal block, put ourselves in position to have a chance to tie the game right at the end and ultimately.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I was in the dome, and I thought the energy from the team was good. I mean, especially when the back's against the wall, like everything's going against you, all that stuff. And you block a field goal, you make a critical stand with 3 minutes left to get the ball back. Like all that stuff was impressive for sure. And even to battle in the 2-minute drive, like a couple fourth down conversions or whatever we were doing. So overall, yeah, I thought the energy and the tempo and just the defense was flying in the first portion of the game. The third downs were backbreaking and all that stuff. But overall, yeah, I liked, I guess, the vibe from the team.
The story for us and the lesson for us is you can't beat yourself. 13 penalties.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes in there that we just got to clean up and put ourselves in a much better position to be successful. And so we got a lot of work to do. That's the beauty of this thing. There's a lot of work coming forward to us, and we'll move the page and get ready for San Francisco here shortly.
Yeah, and when you have a team that is as young and rebuilding and new and whatever that the Saints are, this stuff is important. What's even more important is what you see in the next game. All right, like 13 penalties, yeah, that sucks. That's important. That is an absolute thing that happened. That is a reason we lost the game. In game 2, if that is cut down dramatically, then okay, good. If we have 13 penalties again, what's going on here? Right? So I fully expect Kellen to build this thing, and I know it's going to take a little bit of time, but we need to see that incremental improvement in whatever the issue is. In this situation, penalties is like one of the big ones.
How close did you think Juwan was to getting that one at the end?
Yeah, it's close. Obviously,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the slow replay, so I don't know how close it was, but certainly it looked like we had a moment there where we had it.
Was there any commonality between the penalties that you figure out?
Certainly a lot of it, the main stuff you got to deal with is the controllables, the pre-snap. I mean, the pre-snap.
Yeah, the legal motions, the legal formations, the false starts, like that stuff is on you. Defensive pass interference, like the one on Kool-Aid, that probably wasn't a penalty. That's a variable, that's a referee thing. But false starts, all that stuff, like that's not a variable. That has to be correct.
That was just simply not good enough. That doesn't meet the standard in any way. We have a bunch of penalties on both sides of the football in the pre-snap world, and that's all under our control.
How would you evaluate Spence throughout the entire game?
Yeah, I thought Spence did some good stuff. He put us in position there. Obviously there's highs and lows as you go through a game, but I love the way he approached it, the mindset he played with, and he gave us a chance.
I'll tell you this, there was a couple throws where I was very impressed with Spencer. And two of them I can think of, well, actually, 4 of them I can think of were incomplete. The Devon Vele pass that ended up being incomplete, but there was a defensive pass interference. That was an absolute missile dart to Vele on the slant. That was one of the most perfectly placed 98-mile-an-hour fastballs I've ever seen. The Brandon Cooks throw that hit him in the chest, the 2 Juwan Johnson passes at the end, the one that Juwan in the end zone, and then the one before that where Spencer had to kind of move around a little bit and just find somebody where Juwan would have been. It was like at the 2 or 3 yard line, but he had a few plays there. There was a play, I think it was to Vele again, where Spencer rolled out to the right, kind of had to throw a long pass because of the angle, and Vele caught it sliding out of bounds. But I thought Rattler played good. I mean, I really do. It's not MVP box score, but for the situation and everything that kind of went into it, I thought they put more on his shoulders, no pun intended, than I would have expected. But Spencer Rattler was not the problem in this game.
Why did you choose not to call any timeouts?
There we go.
Yeah, we're close. We talked through it. Getting the ball at the end, the start of the third quarter, they still had all 3 timeouts in their pocket, and so we felt like we'd let it play out and then see on our possession, see if something popped there. And if something popped, we'd keep it alive and put ourselves in position. But definitely something that we talked about.
Yeah, I thought you should at least call one at the end to maybe preserve, all of a sudden you leave yourself 40 seconds or whatever. Like I said at the beginning, I think Kellen expected to have a minute left or so. And when he didn't, he didn't know what to do. I think with like 45 seconds or a minute left, he would have let it rip. He would have tried to score.
Kellen, your thoughts on the way that the defense played?
Yeah, I thought the defense gave us a chance at the end. There's a couple big stops there as the game progressed, and I thought they did some good stuff. Penalties, a couple big plays, and some situational football came up on some 3rd and longs. They were able to convert a few 3rd and longs, and that.
Yeah, that was brutal. I can think of 3 separate 3rd and 10s that were converted, and again, that's just not going to work, especially when you're combining that with the penalties, and then you're combining that with everything else. It's just not going to work. So the 3rd and 10s, the 3rd down conversions, especially early on, and they were like 4 for 6 in the first half, I think. That was brutal. But overall, the defense did kind of have that bend, don't break. You would love to see a turnover. A turnover either way probably flips the entire game. Like a turnover, if the Saints would have got a turnover this game, Saints probably win the game. If the Cardinals get a turnover, they probably win by 2 touchdowns. It's just one of those. You could kind of see both defenses were doing the same thing, and it was neither one could just kind of come up with that turnover.
That extended some drives, unfortunately.
Was that Alontae Taylor blitz at the end something that y'all kind of saved for a specific moment, or was that just the one that worked?
It's certainly available to us in a number of other situations, but there's risk-reward with that. I thought Brandon did an awesome job calling this game, putting us in a really good position, really great opportunities to compete each and every down, and I thought it was a great call in that situation.
I think more teams should blitz on critical 3rd downs like that, like 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, whatever, because you know what they have to do. So I think you blitz there more than not. You blitz because either you force the quarterback to get completely off script, whether he's running around or whatever, or you force him to make a quick throw. And if he makes a quick throw, more than likely, he's not going to find that guy 14, 15 yards down the field. Usually when plays get broken and the quarterbacks are extending the play or whatever, they have time in the pocket, that's whenever those kind of plays happen. So I love sending Alontae there.
Did you have were you going to go for the extra point, or if you would have scored in that sense?
Certainly we talk about that all the time, so we'll see when that presents itself.
He would have went for it. He would have absolutely went for the 2-point conversion. You do go for the 2-point conversion there. Easy math. If the Cardinals are 6.5-point favorites, they have an implied probability to win about 70%, maybe a little bit more. So if you have a 30%, this is like their back of the napkin math. If you have a 30% chance to win the game before the game, and then you have a 50% chance to win the game on a play, because 2-point conversions are about 50% success rate, you would absolutely choose, I'll take the 50% chance to win the game over the 30% chance to game, because the longer the game is extrapolated, the closer you're going to get to that 70-30 split. But if I tell you, you got a 50% play right here from the 3 or whatever, okay, take that. So he would have absolutely gone for it. I think anything over 45 seconds to a minute, you probably don't go for 2, because then Arizona can just kick a field goal regardless. So going for 2 doesn't really matter that much anymore. But there was only 10 seconds left at the end of the game there when we started taking shots. So Arizona wouldn't have had enough time to go down and kick a field goal. So I think he would have absolutely went for 2, and it would have been the right call.
I'm not going to go down that road right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. You did have a similar choice, so on 4th and 5. Was it once you got backed up?
Down in the low red zone. Yeah, just once it became 5. If it's 2 and 3, certainly the numbers will lean for you to convert that. But once it got to 4th and 5, it was a little bit behind us. Felt like we can keep.
That was the field goal play. Yeah, there was no. You're down 2 scores. You have to have 2 scores anyways. Why go for it? Kicking right there was always right.
The 1 possession game, we're going to have to make a big time stop, which our defense did and gave us a chance.
I
How do you feel like it felt for you just going through it for the first time, as a game manager and all that stuff?
Felt like we gave ourselves a chance. Ultimately, it's not good enough. Ultimately, we're here to win football games, and we got to compete and clean things up. And so, while I love the effort, I love the energy, I love how the guys played in the locker room. We just got to play better. We got to clean it up, and it starts with me just helping emphasize that through this entire next week.
What happened with Fuaga? Obviously, he came out. But...
Yeah, he got banged up on knee, and so we'll just kind of see how it looks.
I did see on Twitter that Alvin said that he talked to Fuaga and the knee's totally fine. So, I mean, I don't know, it is what it is, but that's just what I'm hearing.
Chris evaluated for a concussion?
He was not.
Yeah, Chris Olave went in the medical tent 3 different times in this game, but was never evaluated for the concussion. I'm not even sure if he came out of the game when he got hit on the screen, but the other time was for an ankle, and so but yeah, that screen that he got lit up on by Will Johnson, like that's the last thing you want to see right there.
What do you make of just him gutting it through and being on there for the final plays of this game?
Yeah, he battled each and every play, and I thought he had a couple things come up, and he just kept getting ready, and then once he was available, he hopped out there, and so I thought our guys at the end of the day they gave us a chance.
Did you have a specific approach and game plan with Spencer? As obviously a young quarterback, there were some longer drives. Was it a high risk, high reward with him or anything?
There's certainly a combination of that. I think it's important to give them completions and move the ball downfield. I thought they did a really good job of, the few opportunities that we did try and get downfield, and we had potentially stuff. I thought they did a good job. They played a lot of shell on us and forced us to, play the length of the drive, and so, we weren't able to make those explosives that we were probably hoping for.
And what did you like about the way he handled those very comeback drives in the fourth quarter and how he was managing that all?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I thought our operation was really clean. We gave ourselves a chance at the end. We had essentially 3 opportunities into the end zone, and to have 3 opportunities in the end zone, that's all we can ask for under those circumstances.
With the timeouts, is having a young quarterback like a factor in that? Was there like a part of the discussion saying it's a young quarterback, we don't necessarily want to risk a turnover or something with running the team like this?
At the end of the half?
Yeah, at the end of the half.
It's certainly something we talked about. We were really close to banging a timeout there, and just stuck with the opportunity that we had. That hey, we'll start with the ball. We still had a little bit of time left to kind of see what happens, and if we were able to gain some yards there, we can play the timeout game, and we'd have plenty of time to get ourselves in a field goal position.
Those last 2 offensive drives, what worked better? Why did you have so much success in the last 2 drives?
I think just obviously anytime you're in those situations, the tempo and the completion game that Spencer played with, I thought he did a good job. I thought our guys played faster, as the game went on, and so there's certainly a lot of stuff the first 3 quarters that we just got to clean up to put ourselves in better position.
Yeah, the offense is wild because it's not slow. Like the tempo is not slow, but it's very conservative, so it almost seems kind of like they're going at a slow pace.
Arizona doing defensively in that second half that was potentially giving you all problems?
I thought they did a good job of, we weren't able to get the explosives that we were probably chasing as we went through that game. They didn't present themselves. I thought they did a good job there. Run game, we probably didn't get it going as much in the second half, and I thought they did a couple good jobs of just playing really gap sound and fitting things really well in the run game. We weren't able to squeeze any out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say they abandoned the run, but I was surprised that Spencer threw the ball 50 times, and we didn't lean on the run a little bit more. But, game state, all that stuff, down 10 late, it's like, yeah, you really can't.
Any feedback on if anything went wrong on that field goal operation?
I have not communicated with that.
What was it about the pre-snap penalties, maybe in regards to the offensive line, having new faces in there? How much was that an impact?
Yeah, that's something, obviously, that's one of the most important things we got to do to narrow that down and figure out a plan of action to get better because, that'll be what Monday's all about. We got to clean that up. We got to play at a higher standard there. It's not something that's come up the last week, so that's a frustrating thing when it shows up on game day and puts us in some bad positions, and so we got to get better there.
You guys had a lot of, you had referees pretty much every day at training camp. Was it surprising to you that you put such an emphasis on it?
Yeah, it's just a discipline thing. I mean, obviously, it starts with me. I just got to make sure our guys, play that standard. We got to play better there. Too many drives, the momentum is created, and then the momentum stopped. But it's just because now we're behind the chains in too many situations around midfield.
What do you think about the game that Cam joined in today?
Yeah, I thought Cam.
Cam was really good. I mean, tough spot for sure with someone like Kyler Murray. under center, but Cam was good.
Just really steady, really steady. I thought he did an excellent job. Obviously, he was able to make some big-time plays for us that, early in the game and even down the stretch. And, I can't say enough good things of, he did a great job.
I know that's like, without the benefit of hindsight, but like, do you feel now because at the end of the game, like, do you still feel good about your decision with the timeouts at the end of the first half, or is that something that you want back?
Yeah, I mean, we can play the rewind game a lot. I get that aspect of it. And so, we felt like we had the ball. We still had a chance before half to kind of see how that thing played out. Felt like we were in a good position. It was a one-score game, and, we had plenty of football ahead.
Why didn't you take the timeouts on, like, you ran one play and then just, like, let it go? Is it just because of where you guys are at?
Yeah, just if we got a little bit more, we would have put ourselves in a better position.
Your thoughts on the defense just in the second half? It seemed like
I think, like I said, 45 seconds is certainly enough. 3 times, I mean, Kellen's not budging, which, hey, it is what it is. He's answering these questions 10 minutes after the game's over, but it's hard to believe that he doesn't want to at least go back and burn one. If you have 45 seconds, let's say you have 45 seconds left. Like, you probably don't need all 3 timeouts to get into field goal range, which is all you're trying to do at the end of the half like that. So,
we're kind of getting away a little bit, and you were able to kind of pull it back.
Yeah, I just thought the defense did a really good job. There were some third and longs and some of those things that showed up early in the game that we just we weren't on top of, and so we missed some opportunities there. Settled in. I thought a number of stops down the stretch. I thought they did a really good job of getting Arizona behind the sticks in a few situations, and they gave us a chance.
Is there anything you can pinpoint from the third downs in particular? It did just seem like the first half it was.
Yeah, it's probably we'll have to evaluate it, and just the communication. When you're pressuring guys, we're really close on the pressures, and then the back end's got to be tied together and match people up.
From what you could tell, what worked on the Alvin Kamara touchdown run?
Yeah, I thought it was just a really good job up front.
Alvin looked great on that touchdown run. I mean, he was moving, scampering, looked quick. So that was nice to see.
The combination blocks were really good. I thought Alvin had some great patience, and he found the space to the right, and so he did a nice job with his vision, just seeing it and giving us a chance.
You guys probably have a little bit more pass heavy in the second half. I know you were playing from behind, and there was clock management, but was it also something like you saw was working with the passing game that you wanted to lean more heavily?
We just weren't efficient enough in the run game. And felt like there were some opportunities on first down to maybe get some completions and not play behind the sticks a little bit more, and so that led into a little bit more passing as we went.
I love that. I mean, not this game exactly, but Todd Bowles. I think it was 2 years ago, where he was like, it was something. He had like a 1 yard a carry or something. It was during one game, and it was he had like 1 yard a carry on first down, but he ran it on first down like 18 or 20 times or something. And it's just like that is frustrating, I think, in today's NFL, when you're just doing something because you're supposed to do it, or you think you're supposed to do it, or it's game plan or whatever. Like, if first and 10 runs are not working, there's no reason to do it just to run. There's no reason to do it just because it's first and 10. Oh, you got to run here. Like, if you're setting yourself up in 2nd and 10s or 2nd and 9s every single possession because you can't successfully run on first down, I love saying, you know what? Okay, we're scrapping that. Like, if we can get a screen pass or we can throw short and get 3 or 4 yards, let's do it. I've never, ever believed in, run it just to run it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm glad to at least hear Kellen's thinking about that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, tough loss, obviously. The timeouts, I think he'd want one back. But it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get on down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.